After all the excitement and anticipation of getting a USF1 visa, traveling thousands of miles away from home, you're here now. And this is arguably when the real deal begins, okay? You really want to avoid some common mistakes that people do, and that is the point behind this video. In this video, I'm going to be sharing some things that I highly recommend that you do immediately after landing in the United States as an international student. If this is your first time on my channel, welcome. I make videos about my experience as an international student, and I'm convinced that you'll find my videos very, very valuable. So subscribe, use the subscribe button below. Do not forget to introduce yourself by dropping a comment in the comment box. But without further ado, let's get started. First thing that I want to talk about in this video is that you should set up a phone plan. You really don't want to be calling with your international phone number in the US. Aside from the fact that it's expensive to roam, it's also strange. Nobody would want to answer. But imagine you get stranded somewhere and you need to call Uber or Lyft or something. That is like a strange situation to be in. So set up your phone line. Now the catch here is that calls in the US or like mobile carrier in the US works a bit different as compared to what we know or how it works in our part of the world. Most carriers don't have a pay-as-you-go system, which means you either have a mobile phone plan or you are in a contract or things like that. For this portion of the video, I'm partnering with Ultra Mobile. Ultra Mobile gives you free unlimited talk and text to over 80 countries for as low as $10 per month. They also cover your need within the United States. That means free unlimited text and talk within the country. You also have access to free Wi-Fi calling within the United States. But two things that got me excited about Ultra Mobile is this. Number one, you get to call over 80 countries outside of the United States. International calling can be quite expensive, but Ultra Mobile makes this affordable. And the second thing that I also find very, very exciting about Ultra Mobile is their 5G network. So the 5G network relies on the nation's largest 5G network provided by T-Mobile, and I've used this network for I've used the 5G service for YouTube streaming, for listening to Spotify podcasts on my way to work and on my way back home, and it is quite reliable. Now, the process to set up Ultra Mobile is quite easy. For me, I was using it as a secondary line, so all I had to do was insert the 3-in-1 SIM that they sent to me, insert it into my phone, and I was good to go. Follow a couple of prompts, and I was good to go. It took a very short period of time. Now, if you're transferring from your primary line and you're transferring to Ultra Mobile, the process is also quite easy because they have it takes less than 15 minutes and they have a support system to guide you through the entire process. So to get started with Ultra Mobile, I'm going to put the link in the description box, and also you can go to ultramobile.com/adeleke. I'm going to say that again, ultramobile.com/adeleke, Adeleke. As you can see on the screen. So if you're thinking of affordability, reliability, and flexibility, Ultra Mobile is the way to go. Flexibility in the sense that it's a no contracts plan. You can choose to go the no contracts where you basically go from month to month, and that is as good as it gets whenever it comes to mobile phone plan in the United States. The second thing that you want to do once you get your phone line set up is you want to get your social security number. Now there's a catch to this. The catch being that you need a job to get a social security number. If you are coming in with a graduate research assistant position or with a graduate tuition assistant or some sort of on-campus job, then half of the work is done. In most cases, during the orientation week, people from Social Security Office, I think it's called SSA, or I don't know, Social Security offices, they would have like a booth where people can come sign up and put their details and all of that. But if you miss that, or for whatever reason you don't get to enjoy that flexibility, you can always go to your college. They would provide a letter for you that states that you're employed by the university on campus, and as such you need social security number to be able to pay tax and all of those things. So the second thing you want to do is set up your social security number, either by doing it on campus during the orientation week or by getting a letter from your department and taking it to social security office to get up your social security number. This number is important because of the next thing I'm going to share with you. You need it for your job, you need to be able to pay taxes, and also for some banks you need to have social security to be able to set up your bank account, which leads me to the third thing that I want to talk about: setting up your bank account. So you set up your phone number, you've gotten your social security number. The next thing is setting up a bank account. Now, a lot of people go crazy with what type of bank should I go with? Should I go with this? Should I go with that? Honestly, it doesn't matter. You don't have a lot of money. You just need something to be able to receive direct deposits, to get a debit card to pay for things, and that's as simple as it gets. There's no like strong. Don't overthink it. The closest bank that you have access to that is willing to take the minimum amount of documentation, think of like your visa, your passport, your social security. Some banks don't even ask for social security number. Just go with that. It could be a credit union, it could be any of those big banks, it could be West Fargo's or whatever. Just make sure that you have a bank account. This is very important because you're working as a GRE or GTA, or you have some other form of on-campus job. Payments are done through direct deposit. So once you set up your social security number, you want to have that bank account set up as well so that you get your money, because money is important. The next thing you want to do is explore your city. Now, this sounds interesting because when people hear the word explore, they think about, oh, let's just go and sightsee. No, it's exploring your city with intent because you want to know where the grocery stores are. You want to know the train routes, and you want to know where, if you're a religious person, you want to know where like your religious group gather, maybe like a church or a mosque or whatever. Think of all of these things. You want to spend time to explore your city, and this is why it is really encouraged that you come into the country couple of weeks, at least a week or two before the start of your program. Given it might make your living expenses go up a little bit, but it's worth the effort because then you know where the grocery stores are. You know the train that you take to school, or the bus route, the train route. You know those things before your first day on campus, your first official day on campus. So explore your city rather. Know where the African store is, for example. Know where like churches that you like to go, or the mosque that you like to go is, for example. Know the time where the train go comes and go, the interval, the popular routes, and etc. etc. So spend time to establish all of these things in your mind. You're still gonna get lost, I promise you that. I was lost in my first week. Like, I took the train that was going in the opposite direction. But if you spend time to learn these things before school begins, then the frequency of you being lost is going to be reduced as compared to you coming into the country and hitting the ground running without doing all of that. The next thing is to join international students group. Like I said earlier in this video, information is very, very key to your success in this country. Now, some of the things that you read online, they would not be directly applicable to you because people, especially international student experience, is very, very different, right? If you're coming from my type of background, if you're able to connect to people that have gone ahead of you, they would be able to share a lot of things with you, things that um you probably would not get from the internet, right? So connect with international student group from your continent. If there's an African student group, join it. If there's an Asian student group, join that group. If there's Indian student group, join that group. This is where you can ask for information that you will not easily find online. You can ask them, hey, how does renting works here? How does transportation work? Those questions that you'll probably not get a definitive answer to on the internet, you can ask people on this group and they'll give you a first-hand experience. And based on my experience, people are very, very nice because they also receive the same amount of support when they go here. They are willing to extend uh, the generosity, if you call it that. So join international student group. Usually when you check international student service page on your school website, they always have like a list of groups for international students based on like countries, based on continent, based on like ethnicity, things like that. So explore that. And the more you interact with people from this group, you make friends and you sort of like build some circle of friends around you. That way you don't feel lonely, like you're thousands and thousands of miles away from home. You see people like you that you can share your experience with. The last but not the least thing that I want to talk about in this video is revamping your CV or resume, like most Americans call it. Now, you're not searching for a job yet, at least, but the way we write CV is kind of different, right? Especially like American CV is different. Maybe similar to Canadian resume or whatever. I don't know. I've never been to Canada before, but the way we write CV, my part of the world is different. And If you were to submit that same CV to somebody here, maybe you're looking for an internship or whatever, they will laugh, or it probably wouldn't get through the ATS, like the automated screening thing. So revamp your CV or your resume to match the American style. That means including removing some unnecessary details, expressing or itemizing the things that you've done in the past or things like that. And it's easy to get help for this. There is always a career service unit for each school. You can go there. It's free. You don't even have to pay. It's free. I went there when I first got to the US. Not when I first got. I went there when I was trying to apply for internship in my first year in the US, and it was very beneficial, even though like I had to do more of the work myself. They gave me an idea of what American employers are looking for. The reason why you should do this during your first couple of weeks here is that you have a template that you can build on now. Like you have a template, you know the way it should look like. So every single thing that you do, starting from your day one, maybe you like did some presentation or some class projects, you can always add it as a bullet item on that list. So that will give you a good way to keep track of the things that you're doing, and to keep track of it in a way that most Americans will see the value, or most American employers will see the value in what you said you've done. So that's all I have for you in today's video. If you've not subscribed to the channel, again, do not forget to click the subscribe button. If you like the video, give the video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.